Do people really think a core of Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin is going to be good enough to get the Detroit Pistons to the championship in any lifetime, any era? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow in the building. And had somebody in the comment section say, you stupid, man, about getting rid of Dre and Blake, man. They are core. They are core. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be the core, but it ain't going to be the core of a winning team. Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond being the 1 and 2 best players on the team, it's not going to win you a championship in any era in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Unless you go back to like the 50s and the 20s or something like that. But, pretty much they take up half the cap. The cap is set at $102 million, right around there, 101 some change. Blake Griffin make about 30. Dre make about 22, 21. So that's 50. Okay, that's half the cap. Then you throw in whatever 15, 18 million Reggie making. I mean, that's about 70 million of your cap. So you only really got 30 million to spend. So like I said before, and they getting blew out as we speak. But like I said before, I mean, how your core your team and really by money is Reggie, Blake, and Dre in no particular order. Where Blake make the most, then Drummond, then Reggie. All right, that's your core right there. I mean, they take up a large percentage of your cap. 70% of your cap they take up. And you telling me that those three is going to get the Pistons to a championship? No. They can't even get the Pistons to the 8th seed. They can't even get the Pistons above to beat the Hornets. Some fans need to wake up. Stop being a fan, bruh. Think logically. These two not going to get you a dub, a chip, nothing. They're not going to get you that. And people want to just sit here and makeshift teams. Oh, we this close together. If we had another shooter, if we had somebody better than Reggie Jackson, if we put Bradley Beal on the team. Look here, man. Don't nobody want these shitty-ass players outside of Dre and Blake Griffin. So Bradley Beal, no. You're not getting Bradley Beal. No, you're not getting Anthony Davis. You don't have nothing to give up. Next year, you can get something for Reggie Jackson because it's an expired contract. You got to get a player that a team don't want, don't fit. But what you must do, once again, I'm sounding like I'm beating on a dead drum, or dead horse. I'm tired like I'm beating a dead horse dead. And I love horses, Peter. But you got to trade him, bro. You got to move Blake Griffin. And somebody said, well, nobody take Blake Griffin. You might be right. His contract started at $28 million to $30 million, whatever, and it goes all the way to almost $40 million by 2020 something. But at least you got to try. I call up Oklahoma City. Hey, I got the hometown kid here. You want old Russ to be running up and down with Blake Griffin with PG. Just give us a little something. We don't need that much. You got to try. The Pistons took him. It got to be a stupider team than the Pistons. I don't know who else would want him. I mean, maybe a team that feel like they just need that oomph. And I don't know what team. You're not going to get equal value. And that's fine. You just want to stockpile, maybe get a first-round draft pick next year or the year before or the year after. You just want to stockpile future picks. You're not looking to bring back Hakeem Olajuwon, a Patrick Ewing, a Shaq type of player. You're just looking for cap relief. Andre Drummond, you looking to move him because he sucked. You better move him before other teams realize he don't have no value to that contract. And maybe he fit in somewhere better. People say, oh, look at Ndamukong Suh, and I do a video on that. He going to the Super Bowl. Look at Calvin Noor, he going to the Super Bowl. Maybe he just fit better with those. Maybe they just fit better with those teams, and that's fine. Maybe they just fit better with those teams. It could happen. They just fit better with those teams. But you're not going to win a championship in Detroit with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond being your 1-2, being your core. It's just not going to happen. And then again, you can't get anybody around them because with Reggie Jackson, that's 70% of the cap. And then without Reggie, that's 50% of your cap tied into two players who don't dominate the game, really. Neither one of these dudes is LeBron, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron and Kyrie, or Kevin Love. You don't have that big three. Blake Griffin is a good ball player, but he can't be the best player on the championship team. At best, he's probably the third wheel or second wheel. At best. And he's improved a lot, man. Like, from being just a guy that could just jump out the gym and just dunk, he went to improve his dribble. He went to improve, his jump shot. He went to improve a step back. He went to improve the tackle off the dribble. He could still post up. Amazing player, man. Still a good athlete with good skill level. But he's not going to be your best player on the championship team. It's just not going to happen. Maybe over there in Greece or over there in Europe, yeah. And then it's a guards league more than anything. So you need a guard, or a wing that can tear it up, that can shoot and score. The Pistons don't have no shooting or scoring. And what's so sad is that a lot of Piston fans value these sorry-ass players. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Bullock could be coming off most people's benches, bro. Everybody bench, in my opinion. Stanley Johnson will be in the G League for a majority of teams. Luke Kennard will be in the G League, all right? Bruce Brown will still be in the G League too, okay? Reggie Jackson will be a six man off the bench for a team like he was in Oklahoma City. That's his ceiling. That's his roof, whatever you want to call it. That's it. Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin are the only two guys who will start on the majority of the NBA teams. And they're not superstars. They're not even all-stars. Blake Griffin may not make the all-star team next year. He deserves to, but the team's so bad that he may not make it. Andre Drummond, people saying he an all-star. No, he not. You can go by the stats all you want to and say he get 15 rebounds and 17.5 points per game. Cool, but people will see with the eye test, he ain't that good. And the Pistons need to realize they got to move them before they still got juice and why teams still might believe they can help them. Because once teams figure out that Andre Drummond can't help them or Blake Griffin ain't worth the dollars, then we're not gonna be able to move them at all. We're gonna be stuck with them, just like you stuck with Charlie V, just like you stuck with Ben Gordon contract, that whole little crew. You don't want no situation where you bring Villanueva, Josh Smith back, and Ben Gordon back, and you stuck with those contracts. And to this day, they probably still playing Josh Smith. You don't want that. Before people realize they suck, get rid of them, or they don't have no use for them. Get rid of them now if you smart. Stefanowski at the trade deadline. I bite the bullet for Reggie Jackson for a year. Because next year, I think it's next year, he got an expiring contract. It's going to be attractive to somebody. I could bring a player in next year. But do people really, honestly, I want to hear in the comment section. No comment is a stupid comment unless it is a really, really stupid comment, okay? Do you guys really believe that that Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin is a core to a championship team, or do you just believe they a core just to get us to the playoffs? What is the goal for the Pistons? Okay, and I do a video about that. What is the goal for the Detroit Pistons? Is the goal for the Detroit Pistons to get a championship? Then no. Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond core, it's a no-go. Okay? If the goal is just to make the playoffs, eventually, yeah. Because you're going to have to draft people that help them out. The guys are going to develop. Eventually, they'll just barely make the playoffs. If they all stay healthy. You'll eventually get that 18, 20 million off with Reggie Jackson off the contract next year. After next year. But what is the goal? What are we talking about? A core of what? A team that's I don't know what's the goal. Is the goal to win a championship? Then no. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond is not a great core. If the goal is just to make the playoffs, they're okay core. What is the goal? As we speak, a lot of people get mad and get attached to these players, but I just need to know what is the goal for the Detroit Pistons. My goal is always to win a championship. Nothing less. Win the championship. So I would just like to know what is the goal. And I'll do a video on that a little bit later on. If the goal is not to win the championship, okay then. All right, maybe we on two different pages. But if the goal is to win and bring Detroit basketball back to Detroit and bring it up to the standard it should be at, then no. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond and Jackson ain't going to be a core. We just say Blake and Dre ain't going to be a core, bro. A lot of people don't want to hear that. They got the jerseys. They still believe blindly in the Pistons. The last 10 years has been trifling as being a Detroit fan, but it is what it is, man. Motor City Sports Talk, we in the building. Don't forget, we on Facebook, we on Twitter. Also, we on Instagram. You can reach out to the email if you got business questions, inquiry, sponsorship. Definitely appreciate everybody for checking in. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. Want to help the channel out, you can make a donation, or you can just share the videos. I appreciate everybody who share. Let everybody know what it is. After January 31st, we'll no longer be uploading instantly videos to Twitter. So, yeah, YouTube discontinued that. But y'all know what it is. Blake, Dre, championship contender court or not? pretty much the question. Y'all know what it is.